morning, namaskar, khammagani, bonjour to one and all present with us today. Heartiest welcome to the All India Indian Public Schools Visual Art Fest, Hum Ek Hain, Harmony 2022, hosted by Rajmata Krishna Kumari Girls Public School, Jodhpur. I, Anika, along with my co-compare, welcome all the participating schools, principals, keynote speakers, eminent judges, representatives, teachers, intellectual guests, and all our young, budding, talented artists to present before us a variety of visual treat, infused with the theme Hum Ek Hain, Harmony. Hope you all were able to appreciate and acknowledge the spectrum of talent presented before you during the first day of our event. And if due to some glitch you missed out on anything, don't be disheartened, as ये तो अभी सिर्फ शुरुआत है दोस्तों। तो आइए करते हैं इस नए दिन का आगाज कुछ नए रंगों के साथ। मिल जाए हम आज जैसे पानी में घुलते रंग हैं। मीलों दूर आप हैं तो क्या फिर भी आप, मैं और हम सब एक हैं।
The history of art is immense. As long as humankind has been conscious of itself, it has been creating art to represent them. Since the day we humans have been able to use our hands, we have been creating art. From early cave paintings to the human artistic expression, which can tell us a lot about the lives of the people who created it. So to fully appreciate the cultural, social, and historical significance of different artworks, we need to be aware of the broad art history timeline. Gear up, ladies and gentlemen, and please allow me to adjust the time machine to take you all to those significant eras of art creation and historical contexts out of which they have risen. The journey of art, Kala Chintan.
कला आकारों, रंगों और भेदों का संयोजन है। कला भावों और अभावों का बंधन है। कला रूप, लावण्य और रस का योजन है। कलाकार का अनुभव अद्भुत और सुंदरतम है। कला पौराणिक और जातक कथाओं का रंजन है। शास्त्र, साहित्य, इतिहास और पुराणों का वर्णन है।
So this is the amalgamation of use of lines, shapes, forms, light and shade, compositions, colors, and many other things to express our expression. RKK proudly presents Kala Chintan, the journey of Indian art.
कला एक कल्पना है, कला एक साधना है, कला भावों की अभिव्यक्ति है, तो कला भाषा की शक्ति है।
आसमान इतना खाली है जितनी तुम्हारी आंखें, पृथ्वी इतनी मौन जितने तुम्हारे स्वप्न।
Today, we are talking about the ancient period. When we see the oldest era, we realize that even under civilization, we were prosperous in art. And till date, we are.
जी हाँ, जब हम गुफाओं में रहते थे, तभी हमने उन पर बनाए चित्रों से ही भाषा की अभिव्यक्ति की थी। तो आइए, आज हम आपको उन प्राचीन गुफाओं में ले चलते हैं, जहां से हमारी कला का ओरिजिन हुआ था। भारत के इतिहास की शुरुआत सिंधु घाटी सभ्यता से होती है। अक्सर हम कहते हैं कि जल है तो कल है। नहीं दोस्तों, सिर्फ कल ही नहीं, हमारा आज भी और भविष्य भी जल पर आधारित था और रहेगा। जैसे इजिप्ट की सभ्यता नाइल नदी के किनारे, मेसोपोटामिया की सभ्यता यूफ्रेटिस और टाइग्रिस नदी के किनारे, चाइना की सभ्यता येलो नदी के किनारे और हमारी भारतीय सभ्यता इंडस नदी के किनारे विकसित हुई है। तो आइए हम बात करते हैं इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन में विकसित विजुअल आर्ट के बारे में।
मैं कई दिनों से एक सपना देख रही हूँ। बड़ा ही अजीब सपना है।
कैसा सपना? क्या कोई डरावना सपना है?
डरावना नहीं, पर कुछ अजीब सा ही एक सींग वाला जानवर दिखाई देता है।
एक सींग वाला जानवर?
हाँ, और एक बड़ा सा नगर भी दिखाई देता है जो एक नदी के किनारे पर विकसित है। और हाँ, कभी-कभी मुझे कुछ सिक्के, पुजारी, मिट्टी पर चित्रकारी भी दिखाई देती है।
मैं बहुत देर से तुम दोनों की बातें सुन रहा हूँ।
मुझे कुछ पता नहीं चल रहा कि हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं।
मैं बताता हूँ। तुम दोनों इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन में पहुँच गए हो।
ये क्या है?
ये वो जगह है जहाँ लोग बिजनेस के लिए आने लगे और यहीं से करेंसी का ओरिजिन हुआ। यहाँ अलग अलग तबके के लोग अलग अलग करेंसी यूज करते थे, जैसे निम्न तबके वाले टेरिकोटा, मध्यम तबके वाले स्टोन और उच्च तबके वाले ब्रॉन्ज काम में लेते थे।
अच्छा।
Remember me? I am the dancing girl from Mohenjo-daro, sculpted using the lost wax process, which involves making a mold and pouring molten metal into it. I exude confidence and portray a wide range of emotions. I am an example of the sophisticated metallurgy process and blend casting of Harappan era.
ये है मदर गॉडेस।
Yes, I am Mother Goddess. I depict the essence of women. I am strongly associated with the idea of motherhood, fertility, procreation, and continuity of life. I proudly showcase the cultural significance of such figurines in the Indus Valley civilization.
I am the priest king, the iconic representation of Indus Valley civilization. I give a glimpse of ancient history. The sacred symbols on my statue depict the caste system prevalent in those times. Statues were typically made to remember a person or an event, creating the idea of a ruler or a worshipped god. This hierarchy of social classes that began in this era became more prominent in the Vedic age.
वेद प्राचीन भारत के पवित्र साहित्य हैं, जो हिंदुओं के प्राचीनतम और आधारभूत धर्म ग्रंथ भी हैं। वेद शब्द संस्कृत भाषा के विद से बना है, जिसका शाब्दिक अर्थ ज्ञान है। ये वेद 4 हैं। ऋग्वेद सबसे प्राचीन है, जिसका मूल विषय ज्ञान है। यजुर्वेद इसका विषय कार्य व यज्ञ है। सामवेद इस वेद का विषय उपासना है और अथर्ववेद इसमें गुण, धर्म और आरोग्य के विषय पर चर्चा है।
So come and let's enlighten our visual art concept from the Vedic period.
वैदिक काल से जुड़ी रामायण और महाभारत से हम अनभिज्ञ नहीं हैं। रामायण का त्रेता युग, जहां राम और सीता का स्वयंवर एक अविस्मरणीय घटना है, जब राम और सीता का विवाह हुआ तब पूरी मिथिला नगरी की दीवारों को अरिपन और अल्पना से सजाया गया, जिनमें गहरे लाल, नीले, हरे और काले रंगों का उपयोग कर हल्के रंगों से निखारा गया, जिसे मैथिली या मधुबनी पेंटिंग का नाम दिया। चित्रकारी हमारे वैदिक युग से चली आ रही है। ठीक इसी तरह द्वापर युग में महाभारत में बाणासुर की बेटी उषा और श्री कृष्ण के पोते अनिरुद्ध की लव स्टोरी से फर्स्ट पोर्ट्रेट का परिचय होता है। तो आइए देखते हैं पहले पोर्ट्रेट का उद्गम। राजकुमारी उषा, मैं कई दिनों से देख रही हूं कि आप कुछ खोई खोई सी रहने लगी है। क्या बात है?
हाँ चित्रलेखा, तुम ठीक कह रही हो। मैंने सपने में एक राजकुमार को देखा
और क्या राजकुमारी?
और मुझे उससे प्रेम हो गया है।
कौन है वो?
मैं नहीं जानती, किंतु जानने में तुम मेरी मदद कर सकती हो।
मैं कैसे मदद कर सकती हूँ?
उसका चित्र बनाकर।
तो आप उस राजकुमार के नए नक्श के बारे में बताइए, मैं उसका चित्र बनाती हूँ।
So, this is how the visual art was born in India. Now, we will watch the journey of visual art in Ashoka's time period.
The bloodshed and the remains of fallen soldiers are the consequence of the brutal war of Kalinga. Yes, you heard it right. Ashoka and the blood-stained war of Kalinga are no different from each other. He is the same Ashoka the Great, who won the battle of Kalinga without showing any ounce of mercy and ruthlessly killed men, women, and even children.
मेरा अस्तित्व एक सिंह के समान है। मैंने संपूर्ण भारत पर अपना राज्य स्थापित किया है। किंतु ये मैंने क्या किया? क्या ये विजय है तो पराजय क्या है? ये न्याय है तो अन्याय क्या है? ये शौर्य है तो अपराध क्या है? क्या मैं नादान बच्चों और औरतों के जीवन का मूल्य चुका पाऊंगा? मैंने ये साम्राज्य विस्तार के लिए किया था या दूसरों के साम्राज्य को नष्ट करने के लिए? नहीं नहीं, मैं राजा नहीं हो सकता। मैं दयाहीन हूं। मैं अब इन्हीं बौद्ध भिक्षुओं का अनुसरण करूंगा जो अहिंसा को मानते हैं।
Ashoka commissioned glorious works of art during his time in honor of Buddha and his message. One of these, the most imposing and best known, is the lion capital, which consists of 4 lions carved from a single block of polished sandstone, sitting back to back, facing outwards with fearsome, noble roars frozen on their faces. The lion capital consists of 5 parts: the shaft, a lotus base bell, a drum on the base bell with 4 animals proceeding clockwise, figures of 4 lions, the crowning part, a large wheel known as Dharma Chakra.
This was also the time when the Maurya, Gupta, and Kushan empires were at the pinnacle of their progress and prosperity. And during this historic era, a 3-dimensional female figure was sculpted out of single sandstone for the first time. The life-size standing woman, known as Didarganj Yakshini, is the finest example of the sculptural tradition of the Mauryan Empire. This sculpture is the epitome of the charm, strength, fertility, and beauty of a woman.
अब बारिश का समय है, इसलिए हम सबको कहीं रुक जाना चाहिए।
हाँ, घूमते घूमते बहुत समय हो गया है।
मुझे रुकने के लिए यही सही जगह लग रही है।
लेकिन इन पहाड़ों में हम करेंगे क्या?
यहाँ की मिट्टी देख रहे हो, कितनी रंगीन है और अलग भी है।
हाँ, तो क्यों ना हम यहाँ की दीवारों पर चित्रकारी करें?
क्यों ना हम महात्मा बुद्ध के कृत्यों को यहाँ उकेरें?
मेरा मन तो कह रहा है कि मैं महात्मा बुद्ध के पद्म पाणी स्वरूप को चित्रित करूं।
हाँ, और मैं इस प्रकृति में रहने वाले सभी प्राणियों के क्रियाकलाप और बुद्ध का उनके प्रति दया के भावों को चित्रित करूं।
Ajanta cave exemplifies one of the greatest achievements in the ancient Buddhist rocket architecture. The walls of the cave are embellished with exquisite mural paintings depicting Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Another example of mural painting tradition is in Badami, Karnataka. The cave paintings of Badami portray the grand splendor of the bygone era. This tradition of mural painting is extended further down south in Tamil Nadu in the preceding centuries, with the regional variations during the regime of Pallava, Pandya and Chola dynasties. The Badami mural paintings depicts the palace scene. Pallava portrays the Panemalai figure of female divinity. Pandya showcases Tirumalapuram caves and Jain caves at Sitanvasal. Chola painting depicts scenes in Nartamala, Nataraj, Devi Uma, and Ardhanareshwar. Kerala paintings show different avatars of Lord Vishnu, while Vijayanagar paintings depict the avatar of Lord Vishnu in yellow color.
Following the works of Ayurveda and paintings done in Nalanda and Vikramshila, the world's first universities, the kings of the Pala dynasty during their tenure got 2 painters to do outstanding work. So, let's see who are those painters and their bodies of work.
हम पाल वंश के राजा धर्मपाल हैं
और हम राजा देवपाल हैं।
हमें अजंता की गुफाओं में बनाई गई जातक कथाओं की चित्रकारी का अनुकरण करना चाहिए।
हमारा ये अनुकरण एक नई चित्रकारी को जन्म देगा।
धीमान और वितपाल जी महाराज, हम जानते हैं कि आप दोनों बहुत ही उम्दा चित्रकारी जानते हैं।
आप दोनों प्रज्ञा परामिता आदि महायान बौद्ध ग्रंथों को चित्रित करने का कार्य करें और इन चित्रों का निर्माण बंगाल, नालंदा, विक्रमशिला, नेपाल और बिहार तक किया जाए।
महाराज, हमें इस चित्रकारी के लिए तालपत्र, सुंदर लिपि की किताबें और चमकीली शाही की आवश्यकता होगी।
जी महाराज, जिससे हम इन चित्रों को और दस्तावेजों को लंबे समय तक सुरक्षित रख पाएंगे।
चित्रकारों को जिन जिन वस्तुओं की आवश्यकता है वो सब उन्हें प्रदान की जाए।
जी महाराज।
धन्यवाद महाराज।
During the 9th century, a new style of painting emerged, known as the Pala style. This style of art developed from 10th century to the 13th century. It portrays the propagation of Buddhism and native Buddhist stories.
Meanwhile, new concept was also developed in the painting called Western and Middle Visual Art. It comprises the art of 3D image making called Pratima Lakshana. It consists of verses from epics and various canonical literary music texts, Kalpasutra, love story, Nayak Nayika Bhed, and Upbranch style. That era also depicts Rajput paintings of Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh. These paintings showcase the stories of Jain Tirthankars as well as ancient texts.
After the establishment of Mughal Empire in India, some new dimensions began to appear in the field of painting. Yes, we are talking about Babur, the first emperor of the Mughal Empire, who himself was a wonderful art connoisseur. Because of his sheer love of art, a long epic poem, Shahnama, was written on him. Babur's son Humayun succeeded him and inherited his great interest in art. During his reign, two artists, Mir Sayyid Ali and Abdus Samad, got a chance to showcase their talent.
अस्सलामु अलैकुम जनाबे मीर सैयद।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम मोहतरम अब्दुस समद।
शहंशाह हुमायूं ने जिस तरह हमारे फन का अनोखा मेल किया है, यकीनन काबिले तारीफ है।
बजा फरमाया आपने। आपकी तख्लीक की हुई इन तस्वीरों में जानवर और दिगर जानदार मखलूक का दिल आशना मंजर और मेरे इन देहाती इलाकों की जिंदा पैमाइश की फनकारी ने बहुत बड़ा मुकाम हासिल किया है।
जनाब, हमने तो यहाँ तक सुना है कि शहंशाह हुमायूं जंग की खलवत में मुसव्विरी की पोथियाँ और उनके तख्लीके अमल पर भी खूब गौर फरमाते हैं।
तो आइए हम और आप एक साथ मिलकर अपने हाकिम वक्त मुगल शहंशाह हुमायूं के दौरे हुकूमत को अपने फन में पिरोकर दास्ताने मीर हमजा की तश्कील करते हैं, ताकि आने वाली नस्लें हमारे मोहसिन की फराग दिली से रूबरू हो सके।
After Humayun's death, his illustrious son Akbar took over the reins of the Mughal Empire. He was not only an able administrator, but also the first great Mughal patron of arts. Under his reign, the Mughal painting evolved and developed at a rapid pace. Akbar ordered the creation of a wide variety of European-style paintings and also paid close attention to the final output of all these artworks.
जैसा कि अवाम में वाज़े है कि हम माँ बदौलत शहंशाह जलालुद्दीन अकबर फ़ुनून लतीफ़ा और अदबियात के पैरोकार हैं, या यूं कहें हम बजाते खुद तमाम कलाओं की कद्र करते हैं। यहां तक कि अपने दरबार में मुसन्निफीन अबुल फजल, मुलादो प्याजा फैजी जैसी शख्सियात को खास मुकाम दे रखा है। वहीं अपनी हुकूमत के फन्ने मुसव्विरी के माहिर चित्रकारों की कद्र करते हैं। और आज आवाम को हाजिर नाजिर जानकर हम ये ऐलान आम करते हैं कि हुकूमत की जानिब से हर हफ्ते अपनी हुकूमत के फनकारों का फन का मुजाहिरा और उसकी नुमाइश करने का एहतमाम किया जाएगा। और ये भी ऐलान करते हैं कि हमारी नज़र में हिंदू और मुसलमान के इख्तलाफ से दूर फनकार सिर्फ फनकार का दर्जा रखता है, और फनकार ही खुदा की बनाई वो तख्लीक है जो कुदरत की तश्कील का दिली इजहार पूरे एहतमाम के साथ अकीदत और मोहब्बत से करता है।
His tradition and fascination for art were carried forward by his son Jahangir. Jahangir was an excellent art connoisseur and an admirer of natural beauty. That is why many of the finest paintings of Jahangir's master painters are all surrounded by the most magnificent borders decorated with a wide variety of floral and geometrical designs. The paintings of his time also include the portrayal of flora and fauna, medicinal plants and herbs, revealing his wide range of tastes and a curious and inquiring mind. Jahangir was succeeded by Shah Jahan. During his reign, the painting style became noticeably rigid, lacking the breadth of life. His attention was shifted to architecture with jewel-like inlay and stonework. Shah Jahan's son, Aurangzeb, was more orthodox and austere than his predecessors, and his increased religiosity is reflected in the artworks produced during his reign. His fanaticism and tyrannical tendencies marked the beginning of the slow decline of the golden Mughal age of arts.
माँ बदौलत आलमगीर मुगलिया सल्तनत के शहंशाह औरंगजेब हैं हम। हालांकि तस्वीर और उसके हुनर में कोई दिलचस्पी नहीं रखते, बावजूद इसके हम अपने आबाओ अजदाद की हुकूमत फलाओ बहबूदी के लिए की गई कारकर्दगियों को बयां करने वाली रंगीन तस्वीर बनाने के लिए अपनी सल्तनत के तमाम मुसव्विरीन को ये हुक्म देते हैं कि हमारी हुकूमत की कारकर्दगियों और उनसे जुड़ी तमाम ऐशो आराइश को बयां करने वाली ऐसी तस्वीर की तख्लीक करें जिससे आने वाली नस्लों को हमारे ख्यालात, हमारी रवायतों और कारकर्दगियों का एहसास उन तस्वीरों को देखकर हो सके। जैसा कि हमारे भाई दारा शिको की शादी के मुबारक मौके पर हुकूमत के मुसव्विरों ने कीमती तोहफों की शक्ल में जो रंगीन तस्वीरें पेश की है, तकरीबन वैसी ही कुछ हमारी जहन में उभरे ख्यालात को भी तस्वीर की शक्ल में ही पिरोए जाने का शाही फरमान जारी किया जाए।
Aurangzeb eventually overthrew his eldest brother Dara Shikoh in 1658 and confined his father Shah Jahan to his palace in Agra. During his reign, there was a shift in artistic style. Instead of the lavish paintings of Shah Jahan's period, portraiture became simplified and settings were understated. Shah Jahan's ardent followers and artists stated a new school of miniature painting called Awadh School, portraying the grandeur and opulence of Shah Jahan's time as a ruler. A great exemplar is this Mughal painting that depicts the marriage procession of Dara Shikoh, the eldest son of Emperor Shah Jahan. The wedding was an extravagant affair with the exorbitant investment of 32 lakh rupees. The painting portrays the opulent celebration of the wedding. The groom, Dara Shikoh, is wearing a highly jeweled kabai or tunic, which was the standard dress of the imperial household and nobles during the medieval and early modern period. He is also wearing a sehra around his head. He is accompanied by his father, Emperor Shah Jahan, mounted over a distinctive horse with a halo around his head, signifying the divine illumination or Fariz-Izadi, which was the hallmark of legitimate Mughal kingship. The procession includes imperial family members and nobles mounted on horses and elephants, seen being welcomed by the bride's side with candles, while drum beats and firecrackers add magnificence to the backdrop.
Around the same time, Raja Sangrampal of Basoli emphasized on developing a painting style where the artists look at Shaivism like Vaishnavism and create artworks that are inspired by Ras Manjari. Ras Manjari depicts the eternal love and passionate bond of Radha Krishna. Basoli paintings are known for their vivid, evocative colors, bold lines, and deep-set facial patterns. They are inspired by illustrations of different avatars of Vishnu and the themes of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Influence of romantic themes of Nayak-Nayika Bhed, Geet Govind, and Rasik Priya are also visibly prominent in Basoli paintings.
हम चित्रकारी करते करते कहाँ आ गए हैं?
ऐसा लगता है कि हम राजस्थान शैली के युग में आ गए हैं।
इस समय में मुगल पेंटिंग्स तो दिखाई ही नहीं दे रही है,
क्योंकि मुगल पेंटिंग्स में पर्शियन पेंटिंग्स का असर जो दिख रहा है,
इसका सबसे ज्यादा असर तो हमें राजस्थानी शैली की पेंटिंग्स में देखने को मिलता है।
राजपूत शैली की चित्रकारी में राजाओं, राजपुत्रों, सामंतों और जागीरदारों के चित्र मिलते हैं और कुछ सचित्र पांडुलिपियां भी मिलती हैं।
बीकानेर की बात करें तो वहाँ के राजा राय सिंह के वंशजों ने अपनी चित्रकारी में भागवत, रसिक प्रिया से जुड़ी हुई चित्रकारी की है।
जयपुर शैली तो अधिक गंभीर और सौम्य थी। इस चित्रकारी में श्रृंगारी प्रवृत्तियों का विकास हुआ है।
किशनगढ़ शैली की तो बात ही कुछ और है। इस चित्र शैली की सबसे बड़ी विशेषता सौंदर्य व्यंजना है, जिसे बनी ठनी पेंटिंग्स के नाम से भी जानते हैं। इसे इंडियन मोनालिसा भी कहते हैं।
मेवाड़ शैली की चित्रकारी अपनी अनुपम पहचान लिए हुए है। इसमें कृष्ण भक्ति, गांवों का जीवन, राजपूत सभा, शादी विवाह और युद्ध के दृश्यों को दर्शाया गया है।
Meanwhile, a style of miniature painting called the Deccani Islamic painting flourished from the late 16th century among the Deccan Sultanates in peninsular India. Distinctive features of the Deccani paintings are observed in the treatment of the ethnic types, costumes, jewelry, flora, fauna, landscape, and colors. These manuscript paintings are considered the yardstick of ancient Indo-Persian paintings. Lady and Mena Bird from Golconda School is one of the best examples of Deccani painting, depicting a yogini who is preoccupied with a Mena bird, as if they are in a deep conversation amidst a golden background.
Another fine example of the Deccani style is the painting of Saint Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia and his disciple Amir Khusro. In this work of art, the revered Sufi saint of the 13th century is listening to music being played by his disciple Hazrat Amir Khusro, a renowned Indian poet and scholar. Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia stressed love as a means of realizing God. For him, his love of God implied a love of humanity. His vision of the world was marked by a highly evolved sense of religious pluralism and kindness.
Chand Bibi playing polo is a popular Deccani style painting which shows Chand Bibi, the queen of Bijapur, one of the most prosperous and culturally refined Deccanese states playing Chaugan, the other name for equestrian polo game, a popular roll sport of the time.
The establishment of the British Empire in the 18th century and the subsequent westernization of India paved the way for a radical change in artistic taste, and a new style of art and architecture emerged. As a whole, the European advent was marked by a relative insensitivity to native art traditions. The fusion of Indian traditions with European style at this time became evident in architectural and art styles. Hybrid Indo-European styles of paintings were made in India by Indian artists for European patrons of the British East India Company for documentation as well as decoration.
New patrons of art stressed using a medium of their choice. Thus, a synthetic style was born, and Indian artists imitated the English style of painting. To propagate Western values in art education, along with the colonial agenda, the British established art schools in Calcutta and Madras in 1854, Bombay in 1857, and Lahore in 1879. Thus, the synthetic or company style became the mainstream art form in the British era. This was a major turning point in the history of Indian art, as art became accessible to the common man. With the arrival of foreign artists, Indian painters got the knowledge of the oil painting style, and a legendary gem like Raja Ravi Varma was discovered.
ये तुम क्या कर रहे हो? ये तो अद्भुत है। मामा जी, रवि मंदिर की दीवारों पर चित्र बना रहा है।
क्या? चलो बताओ मुझे, कहाँ है वो?
आइए मामा जी, चलिए मेरे साथ।
अद्भुत, अति सुंदर। रवि, तुम तो बहुत सुंदर चित्रकारी करते हो। तुम्हारी चित्रकारी को निखारने के लिए तुम्हें चित्रकारी की शिक्षा ग्रहण करनी चाहिए। सबसे पहले तुम तंजौर शैली के चित्रों को बनाना सीखो।
प्रणाम महाराज।
ये मेरा भांजा रवि है। मेरा आपसे आग्रह है कि रवि आपके दरबार के चित्रकारों से चित्रकारी की शिक्षा ग्रहण करें।
हाँ, क्यों नहीं। चित्रकार थियोडर जैनसन, आप एक यूरोपियन चित्रकार हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि आप रवि वर्मा को यूरोपियन चित्रकारी सिखाएं।
माफी चाहता हूं महाराज, मैं उसे नहीं सिखाना चाहता हूं, लेकिन आप चाहते हैं तो वो मेरे पास खड़ा होकर सीख सकता है।
ठीक है थियोडर जैनसन।
That was enough for the talented Ravi Varma. He took advantage of this opportunity to learn European oil painting techniques. His painting, Nile Lady Adorning Her Head, was awarded the prestigious Governor's Gold Medal when it was presented at the Madras Fine Art Society exhibition of 1873, bringing him into the limelight. On the advice of then Diwan of Travancore, T. Madhava Rao, Ravi Varma started a lithographic printing press in Mumbai in 1894. His depiction of Hindu deities and episodes from the epics and Purans have received profound acceptance and are found often as objects of worship across the length and breadth of India. The largest collection of Raja Ravi Varma's paintings is found in Lakshmi Vilas Palace, Vadodara, and Jagan Mohan Palace in Mysore.
After Raja Ravi Varma, the Bengal School of Art showed a new direction to the art movement in India. It was here that the foundation of the modern Indian painting style was laid. Raja Ravi Varma played a pivotal role in spreading the modern Indian style of painting all across India and allowed art enthusiasts to learn modern contemporary painting techniques. With the help of E.B. Havel, principal of Madras Art College, he was able to take these techniques of art to colleges such as Art College, Mysore, Mumbai, and Sayaji Rao University, Vadodara. Raja Ravi Varma passed away at an age of 58, thus leaving a legacy of uniting Hindu mythological subject matter with European realist painting style.
Post his death, an avant-garde movement transforming Indian art by bringing Swadeshi values to Indian paintings began. Thus, Bengal School of Art originated in erstwhile Calcutta and Shanti Niketan, and it spread across the country as a voice against Western influence. Under the patronage of Abhinendranath Tagore, Gaganendranath Tagore, Dr. A.K. Kumar Swami, Sister Nivedita, and many other art lovers, the Society of Oriental Art was formed in 1907. Nature is adorned with myriad hues. Colors play an important role in our lives, like a painter who decorates his painting with different shades. Our national flag is also full of different hues of national sentiments. But was our present national flag always a tricolor with an Ashoka chakra? No, not really. So let's go on a visual arts journey to know the history of art and design of our Indian national flag.
The first national flag in India is said to have been hoisted on August 7, 1906 in Parsi Bagan Square, Green Park in Calcutta. The flag was composed of 3 horizontal stripes, red, yellow, and green. The green stripe on the top had 8 white lotuses embossed in a row. The word Vande Matram was inscribed in deep blue on the middle yellow stripe in Devanagari script. The red stripe at the bottom had the sun on one side and a crescent and star on another.
मेरे पिताजी ने सोचा था कि मैं इस जगह पर घर बनाऊं और बहुत सारे पेड़ लगाऊं। ये जगह कितनी शांत है। मुझे औपचारिक शिक्षा पद्धति से कोई अधिक लगाव नहीं है। मैं चाहता हूं कि ये जगह शिक्षा का घर बने। विद्यार्थी भारतीय संस्कृति और परंपरा के बारे में जाने, खुले आसमान के नीचे पेड़ों की छांव में बैठकर पढ़े, योग को अपनाए और जीवन के वास्तविक अनुभवों को सीखे। मैं इस जगह पर महाविद्यालय बनवाना चाहता हूं, जिसका नाम विश्व भारती महाविद्यालय रखूंगा।
The foundation of Vishwa Bharati Mahavidyalaya was laid in 1919, and at the same time, Mahatma Gandhi's movement was also at its peak. Let's see Gandhiji's discussion with Pingali Venkaya about the national flag.
वेंकैया, तुम जानते हो कि हर देश का सम्मान उसका राष्ट्रध्वज होता है, जिसकी अपनी एक पहचान होती है।
जी बापू, आप बताइए, आपके मन में राष्ट्रध्वज को लेकर क्या चल रहा है?
मैं चाहता हूं कि तुम एक ऐसा ध्वज बनाओ जिसमें पूरे देश का चित्रण दिखाई दे।
ठीक है, मैं अन्य देशों के झंडों का अध्ययन करूंगा और फिर हमारे राष्ट्रध्वज को साकार रूप दूंगा।
ध्यान रहे कि ध्वज ऐसा हो जिसमें सर्वधर्म का समान रूप से प्रतिनिधित्व हो जाए।
जी बापू।
In this way, the national flag of India was made in 1921. After many changes, our national flag was embodied in 1935.
इसी समय में अमृता शेरगिल, अवनींद्र नाथ और पूरण घोष ने भारत माता का चित्र अलग अलग पेंटिंग में बनाया, जिसमें अमृता शेरगिल की भारत माता आंखों में उदासी लिए है, अवनींद्र नाथ की भारत माता केसरिया रंग की साड़ी पहने हुए और हाथ में 4 एलिमेंट्स लिए हैं, जिसमें वेद, चावल, रुद्राक्ष और सफेद कपड़ा लिए हुए है। और पूरण घोष की भारत माता नीले रंग की साड़ी में हीरे जवाहरात पहने हुए संपन्नता को बताती है। इस तरह भारत में बंगाली शैली के सभी चित्रकारों ने अपना परचम लहराया। नंदलाल बोस ने टेम्परा और वॉश की टेक्निक अपनाकर हरिपुरा में हुए कांग्रेस अधिवेशन में गांधी जी के अनुरोध से 85 पोस्टर्स को बनाया, जिसको प्रभासी मैगजीन में डिटेल इंफॉर्मेशन के साथ छापा गया। गगनेंद्र नाथ की पीस डिक्लेयर इन पंजाब और नंदलाल बोस की सती सब्जेक्ट पर की गई पेंटिंग अतुलनीय है।
After the meeting of the Constituent Assembly under the leadership of Dr. Rajendra Prasad on 22nd July 1947, a new flag was adopted with 3 bands of deep saffron, white and dark green in equal proportions and an Ashoka wheel in blue in the center. Since then, it has served as the flag of the Republic of India.
The journey of art has undergone a lot of transformations from pre-independence to post-independence. This change was constantly punctuated by artists of varied interests. Some painters followed traditional styles, while some experimented and modernized their way of expression. Inspired by European oil paintings and artists, many Indian painters adopted their techniques and upgraded their painting styles. Let's see these innovations made by Indian painters that are translated into their contemporary artworks. Raja Ravi Verma revived Indian themes in European style. His paintings have subdued colors, meticulous modeling based on a grand composition.
Gaganendra Nath Tagore rejected the traditionalism of Bengal school and took up the city of Calcutta as his subject. His paintings centered on City of Joy, acquired a geometric beauty of falling light and shade through the architecture of brick and stone, which gave his humans a 3-dimensional feel, solidarity and cubistic look. Gemini Roy started painting in the style of patuas of Kalighat, following the glowing colors and flowing curves of this style. Later, he adopted harsh line of patuas of western district of rural Bengal, local dyes for colors and decorative designs for Katha and Alpana. Amrita Shergill believed the function of art was to liberate the imagination and not to shackle it. She was greatly inspired by Basoli art style, Therefore, her work depicts the use of bold and contrasting colors. Maqbool Fida Hussein's paintings are modern in thought, but its contents are authentically Indian. Though he began his art journey with realistic paintings, his style was a modern, distorted approach to form which was combined influence of Cubists and abstract schools. N.S. Bendre is a versatile painter following the Cubist and Impressionistic style. His figures look alive, serene, and self-assured. The art of Ghulam Rasool Santosh explores the spiritual basis of man's being. His artistic expression through triangles, squares, cubes, and hexagons and other tantric symbols are used to explain the origin of the cosmos and Shakti.
KCS Panikar, an inspiring art educationist, he is known for the brilliance of his color techniques, recalling tempera and his sense of form. His artworks made a deep impression and encapsulated the spirit of the Ajanta and Chola frescoes. Sculptor and graphic artist Krishna Reddy won international reputation for his mastery of technical innovations in the controlled use of viscosity for multicolor printing from the same plate. His famous graphic print Whirlpool has received international acclaim. Somnath Hore's intense figurative practice spanned painting, drawing, printmaking, and sculpture. But his body of work was united by an interest in human suffering, brought on by war, famine, or other devastating occurrences. He also had a mastery in relief printing media of woodcut, wood engraving, lino cut, and multicolor woodcut. Jyoti Bhatt is a painter, printmaker, and photographer known for colorful works that combine a graphic sensibility with traditional Indian folk design, as well as an extensive archive of photographs of Indian countryside. Bhatt's early studies of painting and frescoes led to a focus of intaglio printing processes in the 1960s and 70s. He is known for his interest in Rangoli patterns and is also influenced by cross-stitch embroidery and calligraphic ideograms.
A master draughtsman, K. Lakshmagowd, pioneered the art of printmaking and painting, excelling in the handling of a variety of mediums, whether watercolor, gouache, dry pastels, clay, or metal. He drew upon the potent energy of his rural background and embedded those childhood memories and tribal vivacity within an urban framework. Devi Prasad Roy Chaudhary evolved his skills in casting in bronze and executed paintings that were an amalgamation of the Chinese technique, the Japanese wash process, and his own scratching method. Though his early paintings bore the influence of Abhinendranath Tagore's technique and style depicting realistic imagery with imaginative flair. Ram Kinkar Vaij work showcases use of earthen materials like cement, bamboo, gravel, sand, etc. Sculptures are inspired from Santhal tribe of West Bengal. His sculptures reflect his concern and feeling for the lives of the simple people around him. Amarnath Sehgal, a famous sculptor whose work falls into the four styles, namely Cubists, Expressionists, Surrealist, and Abstract. He works with a wide variety of mediums such as plaster of Paris, terracotta, wood, stone, bronze, and even gold. He believes that it is the responsibility of the artists to make the cries of downtrodden and victimized people heard by society. V. Janki Ram's sculptures are called pictorial sculptures. They are like carved friezes of the doorway of Sanchi. His early pieces reflect architecture, sculpture, and painting. He was greatly influenced by temple sculptures of South India and the gateway to Sanchi Stupa forms.
केव पेंटिंग्स की रेखाओं से शुरू हुआ ये सफर इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन के लोअर, मिडिल और हायर स्टेटस को बताता है। डांसिंग गर्ल, मदर गॉडेस और प्रीस्ट अपनी अलग पहचान बनाता है। टेराकोटा, स्टोन, ब्रॉन्ज करेंसी का ओरिजिन हुआ है। अनिरुद्ध उषा और मधुबनी वेदों को बतलाती है। सम्राट अशोक की बात अलग है, लायन कैपिटल बनवाते हैं। बौद्ध धर्म का पालन करके जातक कथाएं बतलाते हैं। वेस्टर्न मिडिल आर्ट अलग नहीं है। पाला, केरला, विजयनगर ये बतलाते हैं। इसी बीच में पर्शियन पेंटिंग परचम अपना लहराते हैं। बाबर, हुमायूं और अकबर ने चित्रकारी को रंग दिया। औरंगजेब और शाहजहां ने वास्तुकला को बढ़ा दिया। राजपूत शैली और पहाड़ी शैली ने अपना वर्चस्व बताया है। ट्रेडिशनल पेंटिंग्स को साथ लेकर अलग फॉर्म बनाया है। पहुंच गए हैं अब हम तो बंगाल स्कूल ऑफ पेंटिंग में। नए नए चित्रकार हुए हैं इस मॉडर्न जमाने में। ईबी हवेल, रवि वर्मा, अवनेंद्रनाथ, गगनेंद्रनाथ, रविंद्रनाथ और अमृता शेरगिल। किस किस की तारीफ करें हम, कमी शब्दों की हो गई। कभी खत्म नहीं होगा, ये सफर बहुत लंबा है। चित्रकारों का ये इनोवेशन हमेशा चलता रहता है। आपने देखी हमारी जुबानी है आपकी ही कहानी। ऐसे ही चलती रहेगी इंडियन आर्ट की ये जर्नी।
The overview of many significant eras of art creation and the historical context out of which they have risen was indeed mesmerizing. With this, I would like to call upon Mihai to tell us more about the events scheduled for the day.
Thank you, Reet. Have you ever viewed a painting and thought that it was almost near to perfect? There was just something to it that made it feel complete. This is probably because of the complementing art elements creating harmony. Harmony is one of the principles of art. These are utilized alongside the 7 elements of art, which are the tools used to make an artwork, visually and contextually. The main principles of art are balance, emphasis, scale, proportion, movement, rhythm, variety, contrast, unity, and harmony.
So to begin with this journey of symphony, oneness, togetherness, in sync with unity and harmony, let me introduce all the events clubbed together for you all in the first phase of the Day 2 event, which are tile mosaic, doodling and collage making, along with our esteemed panel of judges, Mr. Jayanta Khan, Dr. Neerja Chandana Peters, Mrs. Maushmi Ganguly, along with Mr. Amit Kalla as our keynote speaker for the day.
Phase 2 will commence after the break and will have cartooning, mandala art and string art events with Mr. Mohanpal, Mr. Vichar BN, Mr. Ashish Ghosh as our esteemed judges. Hope you all would agree that an event of such stature would remain incomplete if we do not have had pioneers from the different fields of art to add that little extra with the stroke of their wit and wisdom. So would like to call upon Anika, Reet and Suhani to introduce the aesthetic, applaudable, eulogistic dignitaries for the morning.
Thank you, Mihai. I would now like to introduce the first judge for the day, Mrs. Maushmi Ganguly. She is an exceptional artist from the City of Dreams, Mumbai, with a BFA painting from the Faculty of Visual Arts, Banaras Hindu University, and an MFA graphics from Kala Bhavan, Shantiniketan. Ma'am has participated in a plethora of shows like It's Big at Chitrakala Parishad in 2016, Mafia Delhi at Lalit Kala Academy in 2012, International Interiors and Design event at MMRDA Mumbai in 2015, and many more. Even the global pandemic wasn't enough to stop the creativity, as ma'am actively participated in online projects organized by Potential, such as Stay at Home and Black Window. Ma'am has been greatly contributing to the field of art for more than 20 years. With many laurels and accolades to her name, she has won the first prize in printmaking annual arts exhibition BHU in 1997 and has also bagged the National Scholarship from HRD New Delhi and Merit Scholarship from BHU. Ma'am attempts to capture the charming and confidence moments of visually challenged people and believes that every person has his or her own unique story to tell. So without further ado, I would like to invite Mrs. Maushmi Ganguly. We warmly welcome you, ma'am.
The second judge for the morning is Mr. Jayanta Khan, an accomplished, imaginative artist. Mr. Jayanta Khan is a full-time painter working as a faculty head of Visual Art Department, Calcutta, Deaf Society by Rupantar Project, Santoshpur, Aguntak. Passionately working for deaf, autism, blind and old age home, Sir is the former creative head of arts and visual art in charge of Indian National Forum of Art and Culture, with 2 years applied art course from Swar Sangam at Birla Academy Art and Culture, 3 years diploma from Indian Society of Oriental Art, art appreciation course from State Charukala Parishad, Government of West Bengal. Sir also worked as a craftsman in the documentary film based on the Indian flag, a true Indian by heart who represented India at various international platforms like Window for India at Basel, Switzerland, India Art Month exhibition of Art Hubs Gallery, Abu Dhabi, UAE, Art Fair at London, United Kingdom. Sir been a motivator, a true social worker and an inspiration for many, as he been organizing and conducting various national and international workshops too. And the list is never ending. Sir been honored with many awards and accolades by many international organizations, NGOs. He been awarded by Shorong Art Group Bangladesh, presented 3rd International and International Award Exhibition and Art Camp at JDA Pereira Gallery, Colombo, Sri Lanka. By Sultan Foundations, Sultan Mela, Narel, by Bangladesh Art Hub, Abu Dhabi, UAE. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Our third judge for the morning is Dr. Nija Chandan Peters. Successful people explore to the extreme, chase their dreams, and weave their own stories. Such is the next judge of the morning, Dr. Nija Chandan Peters. An empathetic, learned physician with a tinge of creativity, artsy-crafty by passion, a member of Eastern Foundation of Art and Culture, India, and founder of Duendo, the studio. Trained to be a physician, turned out to be an artist due to her passion and artistic flair. Ma'am continued both art and medicine together until 2019, when she decided to listen to her heart and pursue further as an artist. So, after serving for many glorious years, ma'am decided to quit and took the retirement from the central government health services. I prefer to work towards my calling, says Dr. Nija. So the journey and molding of an artist began in the year 2010, and since then she never stopped learning and still continuing with the experiments and discovering language as spiritual expression through abstract geometry. With remarkable solo performances at international platforms, ma'am has proudly represented India at the University of Sinaloa in Mexico, UAS, international exhibition My Freedom, My Art, curated by Eleonora Lakatos, Hungary. International Women's Day exhibition organized by 7 Colors of Art organization with endless contribution to the field of art. Phenomenal and extraordinary, Ma'am Nirja is a recipient of the Bharat Nirman Artist of the Year Award, winner in acrylic medium category International Online Contest, winner of KCP International Golden Award in International Art Competition. Ma'am is the winner of Bronze Award from Shankar Art Foundation, winner of Bronze Award in the Meditation, awarded the Bronze Award for Future Star Artist, 3rd prize in the 2nd International Online Miniature Art Contest Women. Fame is another synonym for her, as ma'am is among the top 15 most talented artists and the top 10 artists in Art Book, Germany. And her journey as an achiever is still continuing. Ma'am, we are delighted to have you here today with us. I extend my heartiest welcome to you, ma'am. Over to Advitya.
Thank you, Suhani. So without much ado, let's begin with our first event, Tile Mosaic. We are mosaics, pieces of love, light, history and stars, glued together with magic, music and words. Quote unquote, Anita Krivan. In essence, describing a tile design as mosaic means that it consists of small, typically no larger than 2-inch by 2-inch pieces, arranged together to form a larger pattern. To add more intricate designs to our tile mosaic, I would like to call upon Mrs. Moshmi Ganguly.
Hello everyone, this is Moshmi Ganguly, Mumbai-based artist and part of team Potential and Artist Collective. We work as a team under one roof. I do conceptual based work in different medium like watercolor, mixed media, installation and performing art. First of all, I would like to congratulate Rajmata Krishna Kumari Girls Public School and Yati Kasarkor for conducting this competition. Today, my dear student, it is very important to discover why you want to do it or why you like art. See, art is the reflection of society. Being an artist, I highlight to all of you that the process of creating art has to come from your own experiences and feelings and express them through art, no matter what medium and ways you choose to create art. It has to be from within. Always feel free and explore art in innovative ways, including your expression of freedom. We all know that art is the spine of any development. We can see art everywhere. Our own heritage has a lot of art. Right from the beginning, it's been in our roots. Art is the reflection of society and culture. It helps us understand what we are as a human beings and influences how we relate to each other. Art is as vast as ocean. Art education means different thing to different people. When I was a kid, I was very fascinated with art. I believe the same for you all. Coming to the details of my concept and the way I express, I do lot of sketches and drawing every day. My regular art practice encourages lot of ideas and creation to execute on the surface of my choice. I relate myself a lot to watercolor. My concept includes depth. I plan out lot of drawings and convert my concept to paintings, a series of watercolors. In fact, further to my in-depth expression of the same concept leads to installation or video art accordingly. My favorite expression of art which I relate a lot to express myself is performing art. Performing art can be of various methods, sometimes a suppressed expression or a thought is performed and video recorded and converted to video art, as the emotional expression cannot be performed again and again. Likewise, if I wish to share a conceptual deal with society, in that case the performance is a justified art form which can be repeated as art for performing live in audience. So I think today I have almost given you a little bit of an idea as how art can be explored. So enjoy the creative journey through art. All the best to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The concept of many small pieces forming a finished piece of art stretches across cultures and emotions. It's an idea that describes our lives with all the joys and complications that they hold. So let us all try to trace the myriad of emotions expressed through different patterns that adds interest to an artwork, where an artist trying his or her best to adjust and fit each and every different shape to shape her dream using tile mosaic. rightly fed, an artwork or divine work, if considered to be unitary, if all its elements fit together harmoniously. Now let us take a look at the final piece of different emotions divined by our blooming artist. It was indeed a perfect display, where each artwork had a unique way to teach all of us that we might differ with each other in shape, size, and color, but we all are one. For an artist, the success is when he or she draws the viewer's attention to a specific area of his or her composition, so that they could grab the idea depicted through his or her artwork. So we proudly declare our young, talented Thai mosaics who grabbed our attention through their artwork. Under the category of Creative Art Award, the proud winner is Honorable mention goes to Jury's Choice Award is being grabbed by High Commendation goes to People's Choice Award is being offered to Special Commendation goes to Promising Young Artist Award is offered to Future Generation Art Award goes to Artist Beyond the Boundaries belong to Best Presentation or Work of Art is being grabbed by Kindly note, an e-certificate will be provided to all the participants. We become not a melting pot, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearning, different hopes, different dreams. So keep dreaming, keep yearning, and make a difference. Kudos to all the winners. Over to Fuhani to tell us more about the next event.
Thank you, Advitya. The next event in line is doodling. Doodling is the art of creating drawings in an unconscious or unfocused manner. While it may be considered rude to doodle during classes or in a meeting at work, doodling can actually be incredibly beneficial. On a lighter note, while doing the research on this art form, I gained the Param Atma Gyan. That, as a toddler, I've been doodling. Yeah, trust me. On the walls of the drawing room, on the sofa, the fridge, the cabinet, the hands and legs, and even at times I scribbled on Papa's official papers. Oh, and not to forget his white handkerchief. Ah, they all witnessed my scribbling. No, rather the brilliant artwork, doodling. On Doodle Note, I am elated to invite Mr. Jayanta Khan, our second judge for the morning, to add more refined version of complexity to complete patterns and shapes to our doodling.
नमस्ते, मैं जयंत खान, मैं कोलकाता से हूँ। 22-25 साल हो गए मेरा काम करते हुए। मैं पेंटिंग डिपार्टमेंट से हूँ। मेरा सेगमेंट था पेंटिंग। मैं स्कल्पचर भी करता हूँ। हाल ही में मैं स्टूडियो ललित कला स्टूडियो जो रीजनल सेंटर कोलकाता में है उसका मेंबर हूँ। उस पर मेरा सोलो 9th सोलो का तैयारी चल रहा है। एक्चुअली आर्ट लेके मैं जिस हद तक मैं समझा हूँ आज तक, आर्ट इज़ अ मेडिटेशन सेंटर। नो, क्योंकि आप अगर किसी को ना देखे, ना समझे, ना बात करे, ना देखे, उनके साथ एक लगाव, एक रिलेशन, जो प्यार का रिलेशन होता है, जो साधना होता है, डेडिकेशन, वो अगर नहीं हो पाए तो आप समझ नहीं पाएंगे, काम भी नहीं कर पाएंगे। आर्ट फील्ड में बहुत सारे सेगमेंट है, जैसे कि प्रिंट मेकिंग, पेंटिंग, स्कल्पचर, इंस्टॉलेशन वगैरह वगैरह, बहुत सारी चीज़ है जिसमें हम लोग हर एक डिपार्टमेंट से हम लोग स्पेशलाइज होकर काम करते हैं। अभी के जो नया जनरेशन है जो इस फील्ड में आना चाह रहे हैं, जिसमें वो काम करना चाह रहे हैं, उनके लिए मेरा एक ही बात मेरा दिमाग में आता है कि भाई पेंटिंग करना है, आर्ट को लेके चलना है तो उसको समझो, उसको लेके चलो। जैसे कि हम दोस्ती में, यारी दोस्ती में दोस्तीपन होता है, उस हिसाब के आर्ट के साथ आप मिला जुला रहें, जैसे कि वो आपको समझे, आप उनको समझे, तब जाके आपका पेंटिंग आपसे बात करेगा, आपका क्रिएशन आपसे बात करेगा, आपका स्कल्पचर, प्रिंट मेकिंग जो भी आप करें वो बात करेगा आपसे। उस हिसाब से आपको बहुत सारे प्रैक्टिस करना है, ग्रामर मेंटेन करना है, क्योंकि अगर हम लोग मिट्टी के ऊपर ना चलें ना, मिट्टी को ना परखें, तो जितना भी आप पत्थर के महल में रहें उसका वो सुकून नहीं मिलेगा। जैसे मेरा कहना है, एंड इट इज़ वेरी जेन्युइन, अगर मैं ग्लास में पानी नहीं पी सकता, मैं पत्थर का गिलास में कैसे पानी पीऊँ? पहले मिट्टी, उसके बाद स्टील आया, उसके बाद ग्लास आया, उसके बाद तो सब कुछ। तो उस हिसाब से मैं देखता हूँ मेरा आर्ट फील्ड जो है, मैं पूरा इसके साथ ही जुड़ा हुआ हूँ। उसके बाद नॉट ओनली विजुअल आर्ट, उसके विजुअल आर्ट के साथ आप थिएटर देखें, आप फोटोग्राफी चर्चा करें, आप अच्छा फिल्म देखें, आप थोड़ा गॉसिप करें, आर्ट रिलेटेड जर्नल पढ़ें, कुछ लिखें, क्यूरेटोरियल स्टोरी में जो शो आप देख के आ रहे हैं उसके ऊपर फलाना कुछ काम लेके आप उसके ऊपर कुछ आर्टिकल लिखें, तब जाकर ये एक अलग सा महल बनता है, अलग सा सेगमेंट बनता है। उस हिसाब से आप जब काम करने बैठेंगे ना, उसका कंपोजिशन, उसका इलस्ट्रेशन, बहुत इलास्टिसिटी बढ़ेगा उसका। मैं एक काम किया, एक ग्रुप शो में 2 काम चाहिए करके दे दिया, फिर 6 महीना काम नहीं किया, दूसरे फील्ड में था, फिर आके मैं काम कर रहा हूँ। उस हिसाब से ये काम नहीं चलता है, हर दिन काम करना पड़ता है। आपका जो कंटेम्पोररी फील्ड है, जो समकालीन समय है, उस हिसाब से, जिस हिसाब से आप जा रहे हैं, जिस समय से आप गुजर रहे हैं उस समय को आप उठा के लाइए आपके पेंटिंग में, आपका कैनवस पे, आपके पेपर में, जो भी आप करना चाह रहे हैं, वाटर कलर हो, ऑयल हो, एक्रिलिक हो, कुछ भी हो। एक ही कहा है मेरा कि भाई काम करना है तो दिमाग लगा के करो, प्यार से करो, लगाव से करो। कोई जोर करके अगर कोई प्रेशर दे तुम्हें ये करना है तो वो मत किया करो। तब जाके एक आर्ट फील्ड का एक अच्छा आर्ट बनेगा। फ्यूचर में आर्ट मार्केट भी उतना डेवलप करेगा। आप गैलरी में जाओ तो गैलरी वाले से बात करो, आपका एक्सपीरियंस बढ़ाओ, आप अच्छा काम देखो। आप कोशिश करो कि सोलो काम करे। एक जो सोलो एग्जीबिशन, एकक प्रदर्शनी जो बोलते हैं, उसको टारगेट रख के आप काम कीजिए, तब आपका बहुत सारे काम होगा। एक टॉपिक लेके आप काम कीजिए। जैसे कि अभी जो महल है, जो कृष्ण भगवान, हनुमान जी, जीसस वगैरह वगैरह सब बनाते हैं, तो वो तो अलग टाइप का है। एक एक आर्टिस्ट का एक एक चॉइस है। मेरा कहना है कि कंटेम्पोररी फील्ड में आप काम करो, एकदम हटके, ज़रा हटके काम करो। कुछ भी हो, आर्ट फील्ड कभी कोई खराब ही नहीं होता है। हर आर्ट फील्ड का हर चीज़ अच्छा ही है। हम लोग उसको बोलते हैं कि ये खराब है, ये खराब अच्छा है, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता है। बाहर में आर्ट इज़ आर्ट, ऑल आर्ट इज़ गुड। ओके, तो वो उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए आप काम करो, अच्छा रहेगा, अच्छा बनेगा। कीप इट अप। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir. Indeed, there are zillions of beautiful things to doodle, for which we don't need to do anything fancy to make art. We can do it anywhere, anytime, when we feel like to create something for the sake of creating. That's the time we are making art and expressing our inner thoughts through doodling. So let us all witness the bunch of doodlers, busy doodling with vivid thought process, with unique disposition to draw their own doodler. Wow, it was brilliant to witness the working videos where each doodling woven with different thought and idea to bring out their dreamy doodling. Let's take the scattered thoughts in the form of limitless line and different patterns of designs taking shape into the final display. Indeed, the different patterns displayed through doodling are incredibly brilliant, and the dazzling doodlers who could do that dimensional doodling and deserve the special mention in different categories. Under the category of Creative Art Award, the proud winner is Honorable mention goes to Jury's Choice Award has been grabbed by High Commendation goes to People's Choice Award has been offered to Special Commendation goes to Promising Young Artist is being awarded to Future Generation Art Award goes to Artist Beyond the Boundary belongs to Best Presentation, a work of art, is going to Kindly note that an e-certificate will be provided to all the winners. Congratulations to all the participants. Over to Reet to tell us more about the next event.
Thank you, Suhani. The another event in the queue is collage making. A collage is a visual representation made from an assembly of different forms, materials, and sources, creating a new whole. Making collages is an important visualization technique in the design process. I take immense pride to invite our third judge for the morning, Dr. Neerja Chandan Peters, to broaden our visualization skill, which is must for artwork.
Hello friends, this is Neerja Chandan Peters from New Delhi. I am very grateful to Yati sir and Rajmata Krishna Kumari Girls High School for giving me this opportunity of interacting with students from all over the country. It is indeed an honor and pleasure for me, and I love to talk to students because they have this innocent eye, that creativity, that originality and that freshness in them, which has not been withered with age as most of us do. As an artist, I feel that creativity and originality and freshness in thought is something very precious and should be cherished. So today I'm going to talk about my works here. This is my studio called Duende the Studio, and my website also in fact is named after this studio, duendethestudio.com. And Duende means an extreme emotional response to any form of art. It could be to an opera or to a dance form or to visual arts, anything that we are touched when we watch or listen to or see, anything that touches the heart so much that people at times feel an intense sense of pleasure, or sometimes they even start crying. And so that sublime feeling that you get out of art, that is what Duende means. And so here you can see my works. I work with abstract geometry. I believe that lines can mold shapes, and these shapes, when they are impregnated with color, have this ability to create an artwork which is very, very different from any pre-existing form in nature or in this universe. So this creation, this interplay of color, lines, geometry, this collaborative inception, I find it very contemplative. I have found my journey of perfecting the outlines very meditative, and in fact when I bind these hues into boundaries, ironically I find it very liberating. And I love to play with lines, I love to play with color, I love to play with shapes the way I want to. It gives me a sense of freedom, it gives me a sense of peace and satisfaction that comes with meditation, and for me art is my form of meditation and prayer. So these works here, as you see, are mostly play of colors, and they have a central focus. This work here is called The Awakening One. So most of these works have a brilliance center, and then there is a radiation or the radial symmetry around the center, and this is created by gradation of color, and also within the same color by gradation of its value and saturation. I hope you understand the terms value, saturation, color. Well, color, had we not known Newton and his spectral hues and the way he did experiments with the prism and refraction, we wouldn't have really discovered color. What is color? Color is that visual sensation which the eye perceives, and that sensation reaches the brain, right? So this is a visual sensation. And what is hue? Hue is in fact a wavelength, a particular wavelength in the spectrum of light. So when light is broken into the spectrum of various hues, like Newton defined it, he chose the number 7. Although there are gradations of hues, one hue merging into another, but he chose the number 7. Do you know why? Because there are 7 notes in music. So he related music to art, and music has been related to art. The rhythm, the synchronicity, the chords, the keys have been related to hues, colors by a lot of artists in the past who have worked with abstract geometry and color as such. So value of the color, as you might know, is the lightness or darkness of a color. So the lightness of a color in its purest intensity or saturation is the value. So do you see there is a lighter value in the center here? That work on top is Samadhi 2, and that also, I'll give you a close-up later, also has a brilliant center, and I play with the gradation in value. Some parts of the canvas are going from light to dark, some are going from dark to light. So this sometimes creates an apparent transparency, apparent juxtaposition of color, although there is no physical juxtaposition. It is just a play and intermixing of colors. And you know, I'm reminded of this incident when I went to the framer of my paintings. He is, in fact, he's a very experienced framer and has been framing paintings of the masters of the country. And every time I go to him, he has this thing of telling me that, you know, you have this beautiful sense of color, and either you are born with it, either you have it or you don't have it. You know, it is something that you are born with. It's a blessing. Just like the sense of music. You know, some people have that. They are born with that sense of music. Well, I felt very flattered when he said that. But you know, you can train people. You can train people to develop that sense of music, that sense of color, acquire that through experimentations, through your own practice, mixing colors, reading about them, reading about the experiments of the masters, and also, like I do, you know, I have to show you this journal of mine where I just randomly draw lines and shapes. I put one color and then I try to think what to put against it. You know, when the colors, how they appear very different when they are placed against different backgrounds. When you grow up, you will read about Joseph Albers' experiments and the interaction of color, and how one color appears different when it's placed in a lighter background or in a darker background, and how the colors have a sense of weight, visual weight. In a painting, what all is important, how to compose a painting just by use of flat tints, how to compose it, you know. All those things come with practice and play. I would love you children to develop this habit of playing with color. See, I would like to share a few of the works in my journal. Very, very simple, light valued composition and full of play of color. And there's another one that I want to share, is this one. So usually I do use flat tints in my composition. As I said, the center is brilliant, and it is because I want everyone to focus towards the center. You know, I'm inspired by dawn in my paintings, and when I draw on my canvas, it is usually the time before dawn, and when the sun starts rising, you know, I believe that sun, I equate it to that unmanifest creator, our source of creation, who is not visible, which is not visible, but yet we know that the sun is there. Once the sun rises, it sheds light upon the entire earth, and things become visible and tangible. So I try to hide this source, the sun, in my paintings, and I try to create that radiation of those rays, the joy of dawn, and play of light, because I feel that light is the soul of the painting and the colors are a body of the painting. So the value of color can be changed in order to move the eye of the viewer, and that's how I play with my colors. And well, I can go on and on with my compositions, but in the end I would just like to say the idea of talking to you all was to initiate you, to inspire you to start enjoying the very nature of color and the sense of joy that comes with playing with color. Thank you very much once again, and best wishes for this great event.
Thank you, ma'am. We all could realize that collage helps in structuring, developing, analyzing, and presenting visual issues that are difficult to express in words. With this, we present before you all the effort put in by assembling different pieces to create a new collage with variety of colors and concepts. Wow, what a great technique of putting together a work of art. It was wonderful to witness the materials which were used, how they were glued together, and the way the pieces were cut. So here we present before you all yet another visual treat contributed by our collage makers. The aesthetic idea of visualization with completely different perspective was presented. Surely it deserves appreciation. With immense pride, I announce the creative minds who deserve felicitation because of their talent. Under the category of creative art, the proud winner is honorable mention goes to Jury's Choice Award has been grabbed by High Commendation goes to People's Choice Award has been offered to Special Commendation is rewarded to Promising Young Artist Award is achieved by Future Generation Art Award goes to Artist Beyond the Boundaries Award has been grabbed by Best Presentation of Work of Art belongs to Kindly note that an e-certificate will be provided to all participants. I would like to call upon Mihai.
Thank you, Reet, and congratulations to all the participants. A successful life is not being rich, being popular, being highly educated, or being perfect. It is about being real, being humble, being strong, and being able to share the success story and touch the lives of others and attain ultimate happiness, contentment, seeing others write their own success story. Such is the persona of our keynote speaker for the morning, Mr. Amit Kalla. With Masters in Arts and Aesthetics, who even studied art history from NMI in New Delhi, specialized in ancient Indian art, iconography, Mr. Kalla has participated in more than 60 group shows along with Art Singapore, Oz Asia Festival, Australia, International Writers Meet UAE. Artist by nature and poet by heart, whose poems and drawings have been widely published in many literary journals and magazines. He has been one of the assistant coordinators of Kritya International Poetry Festival and has been deeply engaged in various art and literary promotional programs through the Ramta Dreg, collective movement inclined towards social change through creativity, which he initiated in 2010. Recipient of many prestigious honors, Mr. Kalla has been awarded with Joiner Research Fellowship by Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Srajan Samman International Art and Poetry Festival, Dubai. Prakriti Samman, Jamshedpur. Maru Parampara Puraskar, Satya Shanti Samman and Bharatiya Gyanpeeth Navlekhan Puraskar for Poetry Collection. Hone na hone se pare. His strength lies in his work, which is represented by his commitment to experiment with social engagement through arts. With true artistic quest and deep connection to a cultural expression of a universal spirituality and passionate sense of humanity, Mr. Kalla continuously draws people from all communities into acts of creativity. With the belief that through creativity, people are empowered and communities move incrementally closer to truth. So let us all welcome Mr. Amit Kalla, who is here to inspire all of us with his words of wisdom. Screen is yours, sir.
Hello everyone, namaskar to all of you. I am Amit Kalla, Jaipur-based visual artist, painter, poet, sculptor. So I would like to thanks Rajmata Krishna Kumari Girls School for inviting me for this in the opening of this prestigious art symposium, art fair, IPSC National Art Festival 2022. So I would like to communicate my views on the perspective of art. Since you all are students, you all are participating in this event through various forms of art. Some of you are painters, some of you are sculptors, some of you are printmakers. So it's a great time to collect on such a large platform. So art takes you away from your own time and space. At the same time, it creates its own time and space. Art is more expression. Art is more expression than any kind of explanation. So we have to find those links of expression, those elements of expression. It's not any kind of a hypothesis or a theory, but it's more expression. So we have to understand the value. We have to understand the notions of expression in totality. Art takes you in the world of a super sensual joy. So you have to understand the flavor. You have to understand the essence of that super sensuality. So we all have to find out our center. अपने केंद्र को खोजना है. As Himmat Shah, the great sculptor, always asked everyone to find their own center. आप चाक पर माटी में अपने केंद्र को पकड़ने की कोशिश करें. So kendra ko pakadna hai, the center in between two thoughts, center in between two diverse lines, a center in between two talks, a center in between your own acts. So we all have to find our center, and our art process will helps us to explore all that. So art is a it connects the past with the present. It connects the past with the present. It's a kind of a alternative life. It's a kind of a alternative life. एक अलग लोक को, एक अलग जीवन का कलाएं जो है हमारी वो निर्माण करती है. It allows you to own it without belonging it. आप उसको होते हुए भी उसमें नहीं होते हैं, और नहीं होते हुए भी आप उन आर्ट्स के थ्रू कनेक्ट होते हैं. In our Indian philosophy, we called Brahmanand Sahodar for arts. Brahmanand, Brahman is the entire, the Sarvoch thing, and Sahodar means friendship. Sahodar means जिसके साथ में आप होते हैं. So art fulfills your various inquiries on philosophical level, whether they are epistemological inquiry, whether they are ontological inquiries, whether they are anxiological inquiries. So art helps us to connect between in and within. It takes you in a different genre. It takes you in a different world. So it creates a mystery. It creates a sense of wonder. जो wonder का जो sense है, जो बच्चों के अंदर होता है, wonder, sense of wonder. So art gives us that all possibility. So it takes you away from your own time and space. It's a kind of a intense, a communication. एक ऐसा संवाद हमारा रचता है. It's a kind of a communication with the element of the cosmos. So its behavior is very cosmic. It has a cosmic kind of a behavior. Art is always a practice of searching the real meaning of the self, which derives us to explore the world through new perspective. And I would like to request to all of you to understand the various segments of arts collectively. Inclusive way. So inclusive way may we have to understand the various notions of the art. By this I want to say that there is a deep interrelationship. There is a deep synchronism. There is a deep एक दूसरे से जुड़ाव in between music, poetry, dance, cinema, theater, sculpture. So you find all the elements in all forms of the art. So during this IPSC, during this national festival, during this national symposium, you just try to explore all the various various notions of these all kind of visual and performing arts. Although you are participating in a visual art program, but there is a performance everywhere. There is visuals everywhere. So art allows us to see more. Art allows us to think more. Art allows us to thought, to contemplate more. So try to make this whole process in a contemplative form. Try to understand that whole scene. Try to explore. Try to unveil the new scenarios accordingly. So once again, I would like to thank Rajmata, Krishna, Kumari management. I would like to thank you, all of you, and I would like to congratulate to all the participants, to all the students who are the part of this beautiful, great event. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. If you can speak, you can influence. If you can influence, you can change lives. Undoubtedly, you truly inspired all of us, Mr. Kalla. Trust me, your words will surely encourage and motivate all of us during testing times of our life. With this, we have come to an end of our Day 2 Phase 1 event. We all will be meeting exact at 2 p.m. for the Phase 2. The mode of the program would remain the same. Till then, you all can have a quick bite and come back soon. And not to forget, picture abhi baki hai doston. Bye bye. See you all sharp at 2 p.m. Don't miss it.